Digital transformation is transforming our lives and our work. And I would like to start with my personal experience. 7 years ago, when my mom got retired, we thought that we should buy her a new gift, a new phone. And we went to the shops and we see all the great phones displayed on the shelf. And she said, I only want one that can dial in, dial out, send SMS, nothing more and nothing less. We tried all the ways to persuade her to get a new phone, and at the end, I literally forced her to buy the first smartphones. And within days, she learns about messaging apps with her friends, which are all retired. And then within a week, she came back and told us, you have to give me unlimited data plan, or else I will be old-fashioned. She said, I will be out. Okay. So you see that what we are not doing every night now during dinner conversation is talking about artificial intelligence. So you can see that when people go through their fear about accepting new technologies, they can actually benefit and enjoy all the great things bring about from digital technologies. This is the best of times, and also this is the worst of times. With the improving wireless connectivity and also decreasing cost of hardware such as sensors or chips, it makes us easier to use new technologies. And also the rise of new technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things. It helps us a lot to make technologies more accessible and affordable for the general public. And it disrupts our lives like unprecedented before. So recently, I go to 2 very different countries. One is New Zealand and one is India. But these countries, like many of the other countries, experience the same issue. It's about mobility. It's about transport. So if I look into Auckland, this big city, I see people use a lot of e-scooter using their phones to reserve one and to return one. And it helps a lot to transfer in very short distance very quickly in affordable price. And when I go to India, they face a different situations. So you know that traffic congestions in India is a distressing issue and causing lots of problems. And with the rise of population in India and the aspiration to have 100 smart cities, with the car-sharing platform, it enables people to have mobility to point, and also do not need to own a car. Research finds and predict that with the latest technology trends, by year 2022, which is 3 years from now, that these kind of technologies will reach a certain level of maturity and reach a point that is critical as a critical tipping point. So the notion of digital technologies is only for the established organizations or only for a part of the community is no longer true now, and definitely not in the future. So if we look into today's, from toddler to elderly, if you provide them with technologies, they can use it for their daily lives and also provide them with more information and entertainment. But when I say that it is the best of time, I think it is also the worst of time. Why? Because we found that we have to disrupt ourselves or else we will die. If we compare to the 500 biggest companies at the US S&P list, we see that the average lifespan of this company in 1958 was 60 years old. And when we compare to 2012, they will, from established to vanish in the market, is only 20 years of time. So much shorter lifespan. And second of all, if we look into Fortune 500 companies list, in the 1955, compared to the list in 2018, we found that only 54 out of these 500 companies still exist in the list today. So we have to disrupt ourselves or we die. But of all the things we see, if we talk about digital transformation, I can look into it into 3 stages. The first one is digitization. For very simple, so digitization is putting data or information from analog into digital format. For example, when the first come with computer being massively used in the market, so people find it would be good to store my information on paper and transfer into a spreadsheet or a database in computer. And this is called digitization. And the second phase is what we are happening right now. It's called digitalization. So digitalization is meaning that you use digital technologies, adding values, and creating new business model to people. And if we look into year 2010, in these decades, Germany was one of the earliest countries they talk about what is it for us after the first free industrial revolution. So if you remember, the first industrial revolution is about inventing steam engine. And the second one is about bringing electricity to people. And the third one was about automations. And now Germany coined the topic as Industrial 4.0, the fourth industrial revolutions, meaning how you're going to connect your machines in the factory, outside, in different business, and then make use of the data and make use of different cyber-physical systems so that you can derive algorithm to provide new services and technologies. And if we put into a context, for example, we are here in a building. So how the building understand human needs about temperature, about lighting, and how they can control so that we have the best space experience. This is some of the use case for digitalization. And the third point is about digital transformation. So in the future, we can see organizations focus on people, focus on customers, to put customer in the center of innovations, and then also plan and develop technology without silo or without organization barriers. But I would like to make a very clear point that technologies is only the enabler. It may sound very fancy, you hear about AI and how this algorithm is pulling the magic at the back. But at the end, the most important thing is how people use technologies to improve cities' conditions, to improve city performance, and improve our lives. So I would like to take you a look into the construction and also building sector, for example, in Macau. So nowadays, if we look into buildings, one example is that we can look into elevator. So elevator transport billions of people up and down every day. And what we can see that is robots can help a lot in terms in the construction phase. So robots can be programmed so that they can help in some of the high risk or difficult tasks. For example, drilling holes in the lift shaft or installing components for the basic backbone of the elevator. And also, we can use it and also connect such kind of asset in a building, understand the data behind, put into the cloud, and then if you couple with the Internet of Things platform, you can actually analyze this data and predict what is going to happen with the elevator before it breaks down, before the door is not using anymore, or before the safety chain needs to be changed, something like that. So you can use actually machine learning algorithm to predict and for predictive maintenance. So one question I have is when I meet many young people and entrepreneurs, they tell me very good ideas that they have. But then they also have two same questions. They ask, I don't have resources, so how can I put my ideas into reality? And the second question they have is, I don't know how to start. And I think the key for all digital transformation is just 3 words, and it is repetitive. It is connect, connect, and connect. So the first key is about connecting cyber-physical system. So for your business or for your ideas, you must have some hardware, software, and platform that you can connect together, and then you can use the data, program the logic, and use computer-based algorithm to help you to define what insights, and also to give insight for your business solutions. So for example, I would always like to give you an example about healthcare industry. So you know that Alzheimer's disease is one of the very critical disease. So in United States, it is the 6th leading cause of death for people in US. For patients who have Alzheimer's disease, they will experience memory loss. They will have problems about their thinking and their behavior. And also, it is not easy to be detected by doctors for early Alzheimer's disease patients. And also, how to fine-tune the treatment fit for them is also not so easy. So what research has found today is that by installing sensor hardware, which is in the patient's home, such kind of sensors can measure their breathing pattern, the walking pattern in the home, and also sleeping pattern as well. And with this gathering of information putting into the cloud, they can do more analytics and then to predict certain patterns that the potential patients may have, or whether he or she has potential early onset of Alzheimer's disease. Also, if they are identified with Alzheimer's disease, robot can be brought into place and then to be their caregiver or be their companion. So nowadays, robots are programmed so that they can provide entertainment to the patients, or they can answer questions, or also provide games to them so that they can help train their brain and also to be a companion with them. So the most important thing is that you have to have some sensors, hardware, that you collect such data and informations, and then you have the algorithm to help you to predict and also to analyze these data to come with solutions. So very important is to connect the cyber-physical system. And the second key I would like to say is about, on the next level, is about connect collective intelligence. So we see that with the connection of hardware and software, we also need to connect with different knowledge so that you have the information about the patients, you have the informations, but also very importantly, is about how you also put expertise, experts' experience into this ecosystem. For example, how you are going to have different professional experts to input their experience through competition, collaboration, or crowdsourcing. And we see that with the development of research institutes and also findings from different hospitals and from experts like neurologists and psychiatrists, they can contribute and make it easier and also improve the algorithm to detect Alzheimer's disease patients. And robots can also be more humanized and tailored to individual patients' needs. So the second important thing is how you're going to integrate expert of experience into this system with collective intelligence. So we can also know that in industry, people are talking about opening the source code, opening API, which is like application programming interface. And also there is a constant drive to make communication protocol more transparent. That means that different developers, they have their programs, but how are you going to have an open source code so that different people and entrepreneurs, startups, scientists can make use of this source code and to improve their own solutions? I can see that in the near future, it will be the standard norm for the industry. The tech industry understands the importance of collective intelligence, and also with this, the winner of the game in the future is not those who protect their own source code, but are those that being able to use different technologies to address on pain point and give solutions to people to improve people's quality of life. And the third key, I think, is more important of all, is about people. So when we talk about technologies, actually the most core components is about people. It's about the community. And the great thing that you have in the tech industry is that people are very open-minded. They are willing to share, they are willing to communicate, and also, no matter you count from countries like Silicon Valley, in Tel Aviv, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, or in Macau. The group of community is very supportive, inspirational, and willing to share resources. There are different events, for example, hackathon within 54 hours, or you can go to events such as tech conference or boot camp, in which you find people share same ideas or similar mindset as you have. You can find your peers to support each other and put your idea into a real solutions. There is also different accelerator or incubator to groom startup ideas into a more mature stage. Venture capitalists who are willing to invest in your ideas, and also incumbents, established organizations who drive corporate innovations and also like to co-create with different startup entrepreneurs. The key is about connecting the community, and it is about also having the people, having the right people, and make use of this community to make your ideas into proof of concept, into prototype, or minimum viable product, and at the end, you can develop your solid go-to-market strategies to help people addressing the pain point and with your ideas with the solutions. And this is exactly also like the theme of today is about Ripple. How we are going to help this community, how this community is also giving me refreshing ideas, and create ripple effect and impact people from the outside. As I just said, that technologies is only the enabler. The key is about how we use technologies and how everybody can embrace technologies. No matter it is toddler, elderly, or my mom, if we can help them to conquer their fear at the first place, give them the environment, we can help them to elaborate technologies. And I heard this fascinating story from one of the garment factory owner. So she is operating this factory. Majority of the workers are already moms and dads, and predominantly women who are already past mid-age. So she was trying to help them to upskill and change their mindset and embrace technologies. So they asked these workers, do you want to build your own mobile app? And you know what is the answer? All of them say, no, it's too difficult for me. How can I be able to make my own mobile app? So the owner asked them, have you ever experienced being laughed by your children or your family members that you are not able to use your smartphone or not able to download an app? And all of them nod their head and say, yes, this is exactly what I'm experiencing. So within a few hours, the owner brings the developer in to talk these people very easily to build their first mobile app. And at the end, every single worker managed to build their own app and bring home and very proudly to show to their children, this is what your mom did today at work. So we see that technologies really belongs to everyone, and everyone owns technology. We need people with great ideas, people with skill sets and strong competence to join the tech industry. We need people who value humanity, who understand empathy, to put people in first of all digital innovations. And we need diversity. Diversity in the tech industry, no matter from different ethnic background, different skills, experience, or gender, or even people with different ideas to join the tech industry. Because only with this, we can bring technology really to people. We bring solution to people. We need more young people like you, and also more women to join the tech industry. Nowadays, we see that 29% of work tasks are being done by machine. And it is foreseen by year 2025, 50% means half of the work tasks will be done by machine. But it also gives us lots of opportunity, because 130 million of jobs will be created in the future. And these jobs has not been seen in the past, but it is seen now and also in the future. So it is the best of our times. So I really encourage you to embrace technologies and to focus on the 3 keys to start off for a successful digital transformation. It is about connecting the cyber-physical system. It is about connecting our collective intelligence. And it is about connecting the community. And with that, I think this will be the best of time and the best of our times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you.